questions. All right, welcome everybody. Let us know. Do us a favor. Everybody that's coming in, change your chat to everyone so everybody can chat to everybody and make this a free-for-all for everybody to do everything they want to do. Change it. Oh, you can't because I haven't done it yet. Hold it. Forget it. Hold on. Do not. Chat settings. Hold on. What is happening with Zoom here? Can we do this? Hold on. Hosts and panelists. Here we go. Everyone can now do it. Hold on. To everyone. Okay, now you can do it. So let us know. First of all, change your chat from everyone, from just hosts and panelists to everyone, and let us know where you're coming in from. Always like to know. Where are you at, Sally? I see you're some kind of remoteness.
Yes, I am remote. I'm in the Salt Lake City Airport meeting a client who had 4 hours, and they said, do you want to meet? And I said, absolutely. So I'm here, not flying out, but client meeting.
That's awesome. And Denise, where are you today?
I am in the beautiful state of Georgia.
Georgia.
Love
it. Georgia. There you go. That's as much as you get.
Oh.
Let's see. Lorene's coming in from Delaware, not too far from me. I'm in Woodstock, Maryland. Not that anybody knows where that is, but it's between Baltimore and Frederick. Brian Hebel in the house.
Dave, looks like you got a haircut.
I did get a haircut
over the weekend.
Yeah, I did. I have to look like Rafa. I'm trying to look like Rafa. Look at Rafa, man. He just looks.
Man, I don't know. Rafa's got that. You can try, but Rafa's got.
If you want to look like me, you got to have the barber type carve out Nate's code. Oh, I'm sorry, that would be by Brian.
Oh, Lord. So where are you coming in from, Brian?
I'm coming in from a little bit northwest of Baltimore.
Right on.
Beautiful day here.
And Todd, where are you?
I'm just north of Dallas.
Just north of Dallas.
In a town called The Colony.
I love it. Nikita Van Kirk, you there? Sorta? Maybe?
Yeah.
I see you. Okay, there you are. Where are you out? Where are you coming in from?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. So we're all over the place. Let us know where you're coming in from. We always love to hear that. We will get into it. Today, we're going to get into what we can do now. It is Q3. Not only that, we're halfway through Q3 of 2026. So that's kind of crazy. Oh, I need to get the handouts. 1 second, guys. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'll get your handouts in just a minute. We're going to be talking about the Winnable Opportunity Matrix in just a minute. So I'm going to make sure everybody has that. Jay Talbot's in the house. Good to see you, JJ. As usual. Quick disclaimer, we're not affiliated with anybody, so that's just know we're not affiliated other than with each other. We kind of are loosely affiliated with each other. And if you got any gubbies here, you can talk because that says we're not going to endorse anybody, and we are recording it. So while we're doing this, I'm going to grab my polls and I'm going to say, let's get to know each other a little bit. And I'll talk a little bit about me first. ISI Federal, we started this back in 2009, and since then, over $3 billion in direct and indirect contracts. Last 3 years was $750 million in just the Monday roundtables. How about that, guys?
Pretty good, David.
Know about that? Pretty crazy. And that includes, on the right-hand side, you'll see our intelligence products. GovBrief, we help to reach federal decision makers, as well as Sam Radar, we'll talk about today a little bit, helping you get in front of buyers, and you can see all the federal marketing support that we do. That's our job, is to market. We do a little marketing for Brian, right, Brian?
Yep.
Just a little.
A whole lot of, just a little bit.
So we help with that. We have real live support. So the hot seat questions for today, so you guys can kind of know where we're headed. It is, what changes are facing contractors right now, and how can contractors pivot to leverage that change and win in 2026? And we'll be reviewing the information. I'm going to pop in the chat in just a minute. And extra bonus, how are you using Sam Radar to help? Sam Radar is changing. Some folks yesterday got a little bit of a taste of it. Anybody that saw that yesterday, keep it to yourself. Other than to say that it's awesome. Don't say what it was. Just say that it's awesome. and let everybody know that they need to sign up for Sam Radar to lock in the price. Otherwise, what's going to happen? Sally? Sally's still here. She knows what's going to happen.
No soup for you.
They're
Yeah,
going to miss out
That's-
on a very good, incredible price. So they're going to have to
Yep.
pay more for a fabulous solution. So do not miss out.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Jay Talbot, some nut sent you an email. That's how you got here, I know. Good morning from Florida. Good to see you, Mary Carmichael. If you have any questions, raise your hand, pop it in the Q&A, or just pop it in the chat. We love the feedback. We're going to connect you with experts. We got experts here. We got Sally White, who helps with LinkedIn and networking and representation at events. We got Rafael Marrero that helps with marketing materials and making sure your Fed vibe is good. And because how do you not have a good Fed vibe with a guy that looks like that?
Wait.
And the pose.
Make sure to get this good side.
Supposed to go like this.
Yep,
Steel
yep.
pose. Right.
Yeah.
Love it. We have Brian Hebel, who helps with CPARs as well as training on the Fed stuff. He's a former FAR stuff. He's a former contracting officer for 32 years at CMS. So he's an insider. So we beat him up like crazy on here because
I'm just making sure you're not talking bad about contracting officers in the next hour. That's kind of like my duty.
And we got Todd Crane, who helps folks with CMMC as well as outsourcing your IT stuff. Recently moved down to Texas, right, Todd?
Yes, sir.
All right. And we got Nikita Van Kirk. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Todd.
I need my cowboy hat now.
Yeah, you do. You're underdressed.
You got the beard. Yeah.
Yeah, you got all the rest of it. Nikita Van Kirk is the queen of DIY. That's what you are now. You're the queen of DIY FedCon.
I need to check if Todd's getting a hat.
Yeah, you do. You do. We'll get you the queen of DIY help. She has done DIY. What you've done? DIY protests.
Bids and protests. Yep.
DIY GSA contracts, right? Getting those. Have you done FOIAs yet?
No, I'd stay. Well, yes, they take too long. I don't have the patience.
See? Okay. Well, no matter what, we're going to be connecting you with experts and sponsors, the folks that are here. And we will have shameless plugs, I promise, for those, because we cannot do this alone. I'm going to go grab the session docs. And I'm going to do this right now because I got to go grab these. My apologies. I thought I had this together. Hold on one sec. I got to go grab it. Hey, Brian. While I'm stalling for time, would you tell everybody, we're going to be talking about this today, one of the changes, I'm going to reiterate it in a slide in a minute, but if you would tell everybody what we talked about on Friday in your session. In fact, I'm going to call that up so that you can talk about this and some of the changes in the FedCon news about the 8A being dismantled, the new FAR, and some of the executive orders. Can you do that for me while I'm searching for this?
Well, we did some training on Friday. I think we've done it about 6 times now, but certainly the 8A program has really taken a lot of big hits with programs, being knocked out of the 8A program and firms kind of scrambling. And what was the latest news, Dave? We had the latest news on the slide. There was some new news that came out. I'm drawing a blank on it, though.
Jerry Krenning sent it over to us, talking about how WOSB may be included in the sweep of operation in race or gender or something.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, what changed in the FAR in the really since January is, as contracting officers, we can take 8As out of the program and put them into WOSB, SDVOSB, or hub zones, and we don't have to go back to SPA. And then the other thing is any 8A sole source has to be, the contracting officer has to consider recompeting it on GSA before they do a sole source. So basically, just about all your sole source 8As are going to go away. So if you are an 8A, or training was to how do you keep it? If you're not an 8A, you need to try to help the contracting officers find you. If you're woman-owned SDB, OSB, or Hub Zone. The other thing I was thinking about, Dave, when we were talking about that, is if there's AI, if there's now an AI part of that work that's being done, they can probably pull that whole thing out of any of those 4 set-aside programs and even move it up to a small business. Because Raphael, as you know, being a former government insider, if the scope changes enough, they can go in a different direction on it, from that standpoint. So I think that's really the key, some of the keys in terms of opportunities for contractors, whether you're large or small. If you're large, try to find those primes. If you are a small or you're an 8A, try to find somebody you can team with potentially. Or even when it goes to GSA, right? They're probably more often than not doing limited sources as opposed to posting it on eBay, because we don't like too much competition. So I think that's the other thing to really think about is trying to I guess there's a whole lot going on.
There's a whole lot. But what I love about this, so one of the biggest keys, right, Brian, is, and by the way, I got the session docs. You can click on that. Do me a favor, everybody, before I get into the next part. Click on that. Make sure it looks like this. Can everybody get to the session docs? Number 1, thumbs up if you can get it. Everybody get to it? All right, cool.
Give me 1 second.
And then what I want to do is just go grab this download up here. But the one we're going to be talking about is this spending report. It's a mid-year spending report. I have a later one, the latest one I'm going to share today at the sam.gov tutorial at 1. But you can grab these on Sam Radar if you want it. You go to samradar.com in the resources section, but it's right here. And that's what we're going to be talking about. So do yourself a favor, grab that mid-year spending report so we can talk about that as well. I appreciate that, Brian. One of the biggest things that you just said was that the contracting officer can move it out of 8A because it took an act of God to get it out of 8A before, right?
Yeah. Hey, Dave, other interesting points, and this is recent news for everybody on. Last year, and I pulled out the presentation we did, it's sitting right on my desk, but last year, the SBA only approved 65 firms into the 8A program, where during the Biden administration, there were 2,000 that were approved in the 8A program. So so it was only 65. And the other thing is DOD is even reviewing sole source and small business set-aside contracts over 20 million with a focus on 8A. So they're just having to go up a higher chain in command for approval on it. So, even if it's a Indian firm, Alaskan Native, there's more increased scrutiny. And then they also changed some other things about pursuing administrative claims. It went up from $150 to $1 million, where again they could just go after you, for up to $1 million, where before it was only 150. So the other ones are just, they're stopping contractors from going in the 8A program, essentially.
Yep. I just put in a link to the on-demand from March. You'll get the updated stuff from Brian, as well as we can get them a link to the latest video too, right, Brian? If they want that. Mm-hmm. All right, we'll make sure if you're interested in that, you can grab that. We'll probably do it again in a couple of months, right, Brian? Because it'll still be a hot topic. So we also have executive orders that are coming out from the Trump administration. Lots of those, right? That are pointing towards changes in contracting for firm fixed price. I think they're driving more than that. They've been doing that for a while, right?
Yep.
Right?
They always talk about it, but yeah, it's coming out. So.
Yep. All right, so if everybody, once you get a chance, you could take a look at that spending report. All the data that's on here is provided by fpds.gov before it's moved to sam.gov. But now there's a sam.gov awards as well as opportunities, but both of these are coming from the federal systems. I want everybody to know how this works. If you look at it by number of offers received, that means how many contractors responded, right, Brian?
Yeah.
That's the reason. So let's take a look at this by the number of contractors that responded. Now, the question is, why in the world would 75% of the contracts and 52% of the dollars have no competition? Thumbs up if this is where you want to be, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody better put your freaking thumbs up because guess what? That's why we're here. Everybody getting it? All right, so the next part that we have here is 85% of the contracts and 90% of the dollars had 5 or fewer contractors respond, which Brian had just mentioned it. He lays these nice little seeds like fairy pixie dust that he does. He said, you like competition, just what?
Not too much.
Not too much. Ladies and gentlemen, thumbs up if you like this as well, where you are in a shortlisted group that are pre-vetted by either the individual contractor or by some sort of vehicle like a BPA or an IDIQ. That's where we want to live. Now, the dirty little secrets that we started looking at back in the day. 62,858 as of mid-year hit. That means that there's a delta of, that's my Greek number, Rafael Marrero. That's my deep Greek symbol for delta. 1.6, almost 1.7 million contract actions did not hit SAM.gov, which is why we want to be one of the 5 and it ultimately be one of the 1. So I have a question for everybody. Did you know about the 98%? Maybe yes, you want some. Maybe you thought that there's some but missing, but you didn't know it was 98%, but you still want some. And maybe no, this is the first time you're hearing about it and you still want some. And maybe you don't believe what I'm saying, but you still want some nonetheless. So just want to make sure that everybody knows that that's how that works. All right, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to pump Sam Radar today. It gives you real-time contract activity monitoring. And all I'm going to say is if anybody was there yesterday at either one of the Monday roundtables, don't tell them what you saw and what the name of it is, but tell them what it looked like and tell them that where Sam Radar is going and whether there's anything else like it on the market. Somebody want to talk?
So I was there. This is Sally. And I have never seen anything like it in terms of what it will provide government contractors, such as all of you out there, as well as consultants. It has, I feel like I'm on one of those games where you can't say the name. It has CRM capabilities. It has the abilities to basically look into the future, look into the past. It has the ability to help you capture opportunities, has the ability to help you look at proposals and give you a sense on if, even if you really, 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 really want it, probability of doing it. So it has some phenomenal advanced AI. And I think it will be a game changer. And I've seriously never seen anything like it out there in terms of intelligence. So
anybody else want to throw in?
Yeah, I got it.
Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, so as a data scientist by education, I love how you just bring all the information into one place so that I don't have to go take it into another place to rearrange it, to, merge it, to do all these other things. It's right there. A few clicks and I can do whatever I need to do with it and we're all set.
Love it. Anybody else want to throw in one more?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I always root for the underdog. And in our world, that's the small business, not the super mega, business, but, those of us who are doing phenomenal work, but don't get a chance. And this is your chance. It pulls it all together. It makes you a mega machine in competition out there. And so that's what I love about it is it is designed for those who are often left out.
Yep, I love that. Thank you very much, Denise. Everybody, you can check it out. The only way you can get to it right now is by signing up for Sam Radar. You can do that at samradar.com, and it's the only place. And the guarantee is going to go away. The guarantee is going to go away. So if you want to be guaranteed 100%, and what we're going to say is, if you do this for 2 years, you keep Sam Radar for 2 years. How long does it take to get business in the federal space, by the way? Everybody, just
18 to 24 months.
18, 24 months, 2 years. Anybody else want to throw in? Anybody else? 2 to 3
Depends
years,
on your
right?
industry and if you're trying to go prime or you're trying to go sub or not. But yeah, some industries it could take years and years.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also seen people, thanks to Sam Radar, that get in 6 months or less.
That's true. Go ahead. Who else said something?
I was just saying, if you're niche enough, it could take you less time.
That's true. But
10 years, says D. Smith. David Price said to everyone, the new version of SAMRAIR is going to be awesome. Paid much more for other tools. I agree. And we're building AI into it. It's crazy good stuff. So check it out. And we're going to get to these right now. The winnable opportunity matrix is on the last part of the handouts. Let me grab this real quick. I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick review of this spending report. But while we're doing that, I'm gonna ask the question number one: what changes are federal contractors facing right now? And I'm gonna ask Denise B. Lawrence first because she handles things in grants. What are happening in the grants world that's different than used to happen, Denise?
Woo! Small business innovation research funding has changed. First of all,
what happened?
Well, first of all, we sat for almost 7 months waiting for Congress and the White House to decide that they wanted to work together. And we now have innovation research grants coming out slowly but surely on all of the 11 agencies. But Department of War, it hit, the act got approved, the funding got appropriated on April 13th, and April 13th, they were hitting buttons and pre-releasing like crazy. They're meeting with people, they're having webinars, they need to spend this money. And they have about 66 topics already released and available, which means you can apply if you have a solution to the government's problem for free money. I can't say that again, free money. This is what a grant is, and it is for for-profit entities, small businesses, under 500 employees, and it is jumping like crazy. I have been shouting for months saying, you better be ready, you better be ready. And so those who are not ready are not going to be able to compete and pull down this money. And you can move to phase 2 direct in a whole lot of the opportunities where you couldn't before. So that means you don't have to do the 6-month, trial, pretend that you haven't created anything. You can jump right in and start prototype development and testing, for $1.5–2.5 million, depending on the agency. And then it is the fastest way to get to a contract, because phase 3 would be less than 2 years and you would get a sole source award for, could be $1 gazillion if you got it like that. So I'm excited. Some folks already moving. Department of Education has released their grants, as well as Department of Transportation, expecting USDA to do the same here very shortly. And so the only one that's slow is the National Institutes of Health. Not sure why, but it may be summer before we get full releases on them. But needless to say, it's happening, and they got to spend money.
And Brian knows that a lot of the folks that he knew from HHS have been riffed out. So there's a lot of that.
That's probably what happened, Dave. I agree.
Yep.
Yeah. Nobody to do the work, huh?
Yep. It's tough. All right, Todd Crane, stuff happening in CMMC land and the thing doing business with DOW, which we also have a guy that's going to be doing that. David Price is going to be talking about that. He's one of the guys in the audience today. Go ahead, Todd Crane. What you got?
Yeah, so we're seeing, like I said, the CMMC is coming like a freight train. It's going to happen. You're not going to get all those members of Congress to vote against cybersecurity, especially with the midterms coming up. And that's what you're going to need for any modifications or delays or whatever. So that's coming. That's going to be a necessary requirement on these contracts. The big thing we're also seeing across DOW is, it's almost like a January 2025 again. With all these changes, we talked about some of the DEI changes, but also some that's linked to fraud that they've caught. So it's really, it was never more appropriate time to reread Who Moved My Cheese.
I love it.
My God,
I agree with that. I agree with that entirely. So a lot of stuff going on, and the master traveler, who's not really traveling today, she's going to be meeting somebody there, but she's always traveling to go to trade shows because she does trade show support for folks like you, and also master networker. Sally White, what are you seeing out there when you're at these trade shows? Are there
Absolutely.
is there business happening?
Absolutely, there is, and actually, you mentioned it earlier, Dave. We talked about it. The President Trump basically issued an executive order, and I just put that in the chat. And it's efficiency, accountability. But what he's doing, or what they're doing, is they're directing agencies to maximize fixed price and performance-based contracts. So what that means is, as contractors, we will be paid on contracts will be paid on performance. And so it will have a lot of impact to what people are doing. So I encourage you to read that. There's a fact sheet that I just put. I'm actually getting ready to go to Vets 26. Now it's going to be in New Orleans, June 1st through 4th. And I just got a notice yesterday. There's about 1,500 people there. Lots of opportunity there. And trade shows, conferences are going gangbusters. If you can go, come on over. Jay Talbot and a lot of the day people meet me there and we connect. If you can go to trade shows, there's a lot of things online, and you can still be effective that way by going to virtual and hybrid trade shows and also connecting with people in your persona on LinkedIn. So super happy to be here. Very excited. Anything I can do for you, like the rest of the group, happy to add value.
Always love it. Always love it. Always love it. Nikita Van Kirk, what are you seeing out there since you're in it?
I'm having fun. Let's just say that. There's a lot of procurements that are being published and a lot of tweaks that you need to make to your paperwork. GSA is definitely trying to streamline the procurement process. As we all know, with the FAR overhaul, GSA is kind of tagging onto that, and you're seeing that updated in those solicitations. Haven't had to do a protest yet, which I'm very grateful for, but I'm happy to do it because it's hilarious. And yes, Todd, trying is the key word. They are trying to streamline the procurement. There's contract vehicles out there, and I'll say keep your eyes peeled. We didn't even think, one of the companies that I work with, we didn't even think about a grant, right? And had a meeting yesterday with Denise, and he presented the idea, and she was like, yeah, let's go. Let's write it up. Let's do it to see if it'll actually work on something we were originally planning on doing, adding in an additional piece that would streamline an operation that would meet the government grant. I mean, you take an idea, you talk to her, she blows it out of the water. Sally, if this is contracting and it is also conference season, Sally can help you, get you there. The paperwork that you need to keep updating your capability statement. With Rafa and with Sally, they can help you connect you to the people that you need to get your paperwork updated. If you have that updated statement in 6 months, you're outdated. I'm not kidding. Get it fixed, get it updated. Keep pushing, keep growing, and keep learning, keep attending. I learned something, and I've been doing this for almost 6 years now.
Love it, Nikita. She's awesome. Somebody's asking for your contact information, Nikita. Apparently they like you for some reason. I'm not sure why. I don't know why. Speaking of the doctor, where did he go? There he is. He's there.
I'm right here.
I'm telling you, everybody else, first of all, Todd Crane's got to get his Texas hat in order to be able to compete with Rafa in that outfit.
Stetson. He's got to get a Stetson.
He always had, look at the glasses in this picture and then look at the glasses he's got on now. He always has the sexiest glasses. The doctor, the colonel, the Cuban maestro. And so you had some interesting things happen in this past week. Tell us, everybody, first of all, just a real quick snippet of what you've been up to lately dealing with your media stuff.
Well, a couple of things. I mean, we've published books. I also head up a think tank that focuses on hemispheric security matters, specifically U.S.-China relations. So I'm deeply entrenched in that world and just published my second book this year on U.S.-China relations. This one is specifically on a Chinese penetration in LATAM, specifically. That's what it's called, Chinese social imperialism. On the graphic design and marketing side of the house, on the B2G side, we have a full scope in-house advertising agency.
Yep.
We publish in Spanish, English, and Brazilian Portuguese for those who want to serve the United States government. So for agencies and those who serve, right? So we provide great materials, and that's what we do.
So what are you seeing is one of the biggest changes you've seen, and since there's changes like SAM.gov's changing, I'm going to talk about that later this afternoon. With what you're seeing in the connection, Nikita mentioned capability statements, which you do. He does great capability statements, and then you have the opportunity to post these and have them available in SAM.gov, right?
That is correct. Through the small business search of the SBA, right, which was known as DSBS, now you can upload your latest and greatest capability statement. But Dave, I want to point out something that I think we're kind of missing here, and that is, I don't think federal contracting I don't think it's shrinking. I think it's actually shifting. We've seen a growth in numbers, right? So we have a higher than usual curve in terms of the extra annual expenditure. We're at 1 trillion this year, and that's certainly not shrinking right there. There's been a higher allocation for Department of War and other matters. So if you're really looking at it from this perspective, what you should be looking at is it's tightening, it's shifting, and they're placing greater emphasis on delivery and professionalism, right? So the government wants to buy faster. They want to demand more compliance. Folks like Todd Crane and the others can help here on the CMMC and other components. But contractors who pivot to capture-driven strategy, cybersecurity readiness, and that prime sub partnerships are going to gain a higher market share. So you really focus on yourself. Make sure your kung fu is up to par, right? and bring your A game in, right? And you're gonna be kicking it. I mean, I'm telling you right now, the dollars are there. You just need to re-emphasize your focus areas and focus on those. Certainly, the themes are not the same. So focus on better, faster, cheaper, value to shareholders, and remember, speak their language, right? They want to see what's in it for them. How are you going to help them implement their mission objectives?
I love it. And speaking of speaking their language, you still here, Brian?
I'm going to tag in on that. There's something a lot of people want to do but don't know how to do it, right? How do you know the market in which you are actually competing in? Sam Radar can actually help run reports.
That's
as
right.
far as
Shameless plug. Shameless plug for Sam Radar. I love it.
We don't do shameless plugs here, Dave.
All day long. All day long. So speaking of that, right? So there's a lot of change internally. You have a lot of folks that you know from your former stomping ground at CMS, right, Brian?
Yep.
Where
Medicare headquarters. But really, NIH and CDC, 75% of the contracting staff were cut, and then now they're consolidating all the common spend into HHS and a new office they spun up. So people can't even find stuff on the forecast anymore. They don't know who's the buyers anymore. It's just or is going to be the buyer. So it's a little bit of a mess from that standpoint.
Yep. So, and that's where the intelligence comes in, and I'll throw in a Sam Radar plug. That's exactly why we built it, was to bridge that gap, to see who's active right now, and they're under a lot of pressure, right? And right, Brian? Because they have to spend all the money. They still got to spend all the money.
Yep.
So that's why they're looking for solutions to be able to get to where they need to go. So when you think about what's happening on the inside, normally I'm not talking a lot about SAM.gov. Everybody keeps asking me about the SAM.gov, what's hitting on SAM.gov. So I do a tutorial every day. You can find that on GovBrief today at 1 p.m. And so the main reason that I'm letting people know about this is because when I started, anybody want to see my resume? Has everybody seen my resume from when I started back in 2007? Everybody seen it? Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is my resume, front and back. I didn't know jack. And fortunately, some folks from one of my favorite people, Jim Williams, who used to run GSA FAS. I know you know him, Brian, through Ken. He's on Ken's board, right? And he's also helpful with us with CPAR's radar. And that's another one where we see changes, where the pressure for contracting officers to award is driving us good business. It's going to either hit on SAM.gov, or, because 98% doesn't hit on SAM.gov, we need a way to get to that, right? So leveraging every piece. Every one of these revolves around building relationships, which is where we can take a look at the winnable opportunity matrix in just a minute for that. So, and we talked about the pivot. I loved it. People talking about pivoting. It seems to be the word of the day, right? For people to pivot. So How can contractors pivot to leverage change? Because anytime there's change, there's what? Anybody want to say it?
Opportunity.
Opportunity. That's right. Change means opportunity. If the 8As, for instance, Brian, 8As are being squeezed, right? 8As are being squeezed. There's $44 billion in expiring contracts between now and the end of fiscal year 2027, right? At least that much, right, Brian?
Yeah.
And that means if they're not able to use 8As or they're under pressure not to use 8As or whatever's happening there, $44 billion, which was once allocated for 8As, is no longer going to be directed to 8A. And we're seeing it happen, right?
And most of that was sole source 8A.
That's right. So pivoting means, hey, if you understand what's happening in the market, let's take a look at the winnable opportunity matrix real quick. And that is on the last page of the handout of the fiscal year 2026 mid-year report. Here's what it's all about. Building relationships is if you look at this right here. This is talking about monitoring the activity, seeing the change. You're watching the change happen in real time, and you're engaging those stakeholders. That means your contracting officers and your program manager, you've got to get to them. And one of the ways you do it is using SAM Radar to watch the changes. And I'm telling you the truth, and I don't usually do this. Everybody can attest to this. There's a big change that's coming with SAM Radar, and it's going to put you in a much better position for that, because it's going to help you connect to them. Right now, it'll help you connect to them. You're going to see changes that have happened. You're going to see people that are active in the marketplace. You're going to see things that never hit SAM.gov, and you're going to reach out to them, and you're going to engage them, and you're going to build the relationships, because I don't care what happens. If they like you, they'll find a way to buy from you. Am I right, Todd Crane? They may, if they like you used to be with Raytheon, right, Todd?
Yes, sir.
And if they liked you, they would figure out a way to purchase from you. And sometimes you might even sub to a small business or have a JV with a small business because they like that small business, right, Todd?
Well, yeah. So first of all, companies like Raytheon, they sub out 80% of their work. Literally 80% of the work. They're actually quite small when compared to how much business they do. But yeah, so I knew a couple of people when they left to go to other firms. The government was like, the government was to Raytheon, hey, we want you to carve this piece out because we like that person so much. We want them to keep working on this project.
Yep.
So it does happen. It's not just hypothetical. This does happen.
We have an 8A firm, right, Brian? We have an 8A firm, and everybody here pretty much knows it because he was on the Monday roundtables telling us this. 8A firm, the contracting officer said, I can't do it on 8A. I love you, but I can't do it on 8A. And he said, well, why don't we run it through GSA? They said, okay, let me check. They checked, and because they were still 8A, they were like, we don't even want your 8A is a lightning rod right now. We don't want to use 8A. We don't want to use your GSA, but we love you. So what we're going to do is we're going to tie you in with a new prime that they weren't doing business with, the Raytheon types of the world, right, Todd? And now the contracting officer, right, Brian? The contracting officer tied them in with the prime, and now they have a relationship with the prime, and it gave them the arm's length distance to still use the same people they like and they love to use. So that was crazy when we heard that story, wasn't it, Brian?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Great story. So we want to influence the process. That means we're going to get our dirty, grubby little fingerprints all over the scope of work as well as the acquisition strategy. Very important to get your fingerprints on the acquisition strategy, right, Rafa?
That's right. Very important.
Because we want to push up. We know that they're minimizing the competition, right? We see it right here. We see them minimizing the competition in this report. We see them minimizing the competition to what? 5 or fewer in the vast majority of the cases. So we want to play in that. If we want to play in that space, this is how we get there. And we get on their short list. And then once we win it, we want to protect our contract. And we also know that incumbents, incumbents have an incredible advantage over anybody else in the marketplace. Because better the devil you know, than even somebody else that's risky, like somebody that's new, and a lot of folks that are here are new. So I want to make sure everybody knows you can sign up for Sam Radar, lock in your price. You can look at what's happening here on this report, and you will see it. All right, now I do want to make sure we get everybody's input on how they recommend to pivot. So, real quick, Denise Lawrence, tell us how you are recommending that folks pivot. You mentioned the SIBRs. How can they pivot to capture that work?
Yeah, I mean, obviously reach out to me because we need to see if you qualify. But if you are in any level of innovation space, so you have an idea, a concept, you want to make a change in a social ill or challenge or a government breakdown or gap that you see, and you have a fix to it, then this is where I am focused. We're very much building a niche in this. We do a little bit of STTR as well, but you do have to have a research partner, an academic or hospital research partner to go after that funding. But take advantage of it. Most folks don't know. Dave, when we met 3 years ago,
I know.
Didn't know the grants were available for profits. And it's funny, even though I say grants, I met with somebody yesterday and they said, so when do we have to pay this back? No, guys, this is not a loan. You do not pay it back unless you mess it up. We won't let you do that.
So at least explore checking out grants. What does it cost you to explore checking out grants?
It doesn't cost anything to explore checking out grants. Thank you.
So check it out. Sally White, you still in the house?
She had to go.
She had to jump. I will just speak for Sally White that, hey, check out what's happening with trade shows and events. Part of the new SAM Radar system will have links to all the upcoming events, all the upcoming major events. So I want to make sure everybody knows that. Sally doesn't even know that. So we're going to let her know. Rafael Marrero, what is the one thing, if you're talking about like SAM registrations, making sure their SAM registrations are tight for what's coming up, because if their registration is not active or if it's not right, they're not even going to be considered, right, Rafa?
Oh yeah, that's going to be swipe and laugh. On to the next person, right? Yep. So what we really need to look at, Dave, is it's the SAM.gov profile, but also the small business profile, formerly known as Dynamic Small Business Search. It has been revamped. It is very attractive now, and it's free, which is Dave's favorite four-letter word. Right?
That is my favorite four-letter word.
See, I pay attention sometimes. And then, and by the way, this is like a one-stop shop for contracting officers because it includes the small business certs that the government can attest to. So the SBA certs that exist, if any, are there. Number one, your bonding capability if you're a construction company, your ISO certifications, any type of relevant data. Yep. This is free internet real estate just for you. And it is one of the first stops that a contracting officer or technical officer representative or a prime contractor would typically go to review your performance, and I mean to review your stats and to see how good you look on paper. Typically, if you pass this sniff test, then you go on to the other stuff.
I love it. So making sure that's tight. Real quick, I want to make sure because Brian's got to jump. Brian, tell us how important making sure if you haven't won any contracts yet, that's okay. That's what a lot of us are here to help you with. Now, CPAR's radar, though, focuses on CPARs. How important are CPARs going to be to everybody in the future, Brian?
Yeah, and Raphael, I'm going to go look at that website because I know it, but I haven't looked at it in a while. So thanks for letting me know that. It's pretty cool.
It's nice. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I wrote myself a note to go look at that. So CPARs is changing, and there's going to be, we have insight with people that are actually changing the FAR, some contacts, and they're going to push for more satisfactories. But actually, really, the way market research is going, when they did the revolutionary FAR overhaul, they took out the word source selection in terms of how CPARs can be used. And for any awards after April 1st, it's going to be used for market research, performance management, and source selection. So what's going to be happening in the future when contracting officers do market research, they're going to be looking at your CPAR score. And if you're satisfactory, you're probably not going to get copies of the solicitation. So Dave, myself, and another business partner, we created CPAR's radar. And actually, I am a CPARS expert. Wrote a book on CPARS, just like you, Rafi. I write books, on CPARS, and really our product that we developed, CPARS Radar, is designed to really give contractors the CPAR ratings they deserve. We've got a lot of new contracting officers out there, and guess what? They and cores for that matter, they don't do CPARs that often. They really don't know how to do it. And really, our product is designed to help you get the ratings you deserve, which is just more important, Dave, in the future going forward. More important. It's just as important, Todd, as the CMMC from that standpoint. Like, you got to have those things in line, or you're really going to have problems getting new work.
Yep,
Yeah.
I agree. Well, I appreciate you, Brian. I know you got a lunch date. So,
Got lunch date. See y'all.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. See you. All right. So appreciate Brian as always joining. So Todd, when it comes, you were bringing something up to reinforce Rafa, and I didn't mean to interrupt, but I knew Brian had to jump.
Well, I was just going to say that there are so many different things that people don't think about as far as subcontracting. Like when we were at Raytheon, one of the things that I was astonished to see, in the bid and proposal process is whenever they would do a proposal, they would have a map printed out as part of one of the pages of where all their subcontractors are. Because that was like catnip for all of these senators and congressmen, right? That want some of that project to go to their district. Ooh. So there's all sorts of things. It's so important to fill out your DSBS and your SAM profile out fully, because some of those things could actually get you an award or can level you up as compared to someone else. Speaking of leveling up, the answer to your question, I think right now is, there's a lot of changes. I mentioned, the who moved my cheese, right? You can either try to kick the can down the road, and maybe you're even move with the pack. But now is a great opportunity to get ahead of the pack with whether it be compliance like CMMC stuff, or whether it's, reworking your stuff to get rid of the DEI and really focus on your core, business. This is the opportunity to get ahead of it and to differentiate yourself.
Mm. Love that. And you mentioned cleaning things up from DEI. That is a no-go in this administration for certain. And you can choose not to do business with the orange felon, as I have been told multiple times. But I'd say, hey, choose what you want.
His money's green.
Money's green. I don't care about red or blue, left or right, D or R. Don't care about that. 2 years ago, we were pitching everything on GovBrief under DEI because that's how they were buying, and now we're pitching it not under DEI because you'll get rejected. So, Nikita, what's some of the you put a little bit of advice out there before for how they can pay attention to things and make sure that they're ready. Anything else you want to talk about for how to pivot, leverage the change?
Go to conferences. I'm saying that because that's something I'm pushing the companies I'm working with to do. And I really, really want to implement something that Sally and Rafa had suggested. Everybody has business cards, right? Who has a 5x7 or a 3x5 card that's branded, that's capable, that actually someone has to physically hold in their hand, that's going to be a differentiator when you go? That marketing, that material, making sure your CAPE statement is buttoned down, yes. Put it on a QR code on the 5x7 card or 3x5. Find a way to stand out, but go and talk to people at these conferences. Go and make sure you know where you are positioning yourself. And if you don't, learn and then drill.
And D. Smith, we appreciate you joining us today. He says he's got to run. Appreciate you, man. And I couldn't agree more. Conferences, now that we're back live, I mean, since we were sequestered for COVID. I know that seems like a forever ago now because it feels so much different. But anyway, a lot of conferences, great stuff there. I will say this, that when you're looking to win in the federal space, if you look at the folks that are already winning and kind of mirroring what they're doing, if you're not sure exactly how, if you're like I was when I started with a resume to look like that, I just looked at how successful companies were doing it. And then I said, all right, well, if they're having success the way that they're doing it, I'm going to follow their patterns and do what they did. And as a result of that, by getting to the key decision makers, that's how I did it. I went to the buyers directly. I contacted the buyers directly. I started absorbing the information of what was important to them. And I don't remember who it was that was talking about speaking their language. Who said that? I can't remember who it was. Somebody said, understanding the buyer's language. Understand them, right, Rafa? Very important, Rafa, right? If we understand what the buyers are up against, a lot of times when we have our capability statement, we want to tell the buyer how great we are at our digitization and all the complexities of everything that we do and everything else that we have and all the history and all the pieces and how we can make the bits and bytes all work together. And it's like, wah, 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 Charlie Brown to them.
Yep.
They care about one thing and one thing only. How can I buy from you? And how can you make it easy for me to make this contract out for you? If you're pitching anything else to a contracting officer, you're going to lose because they don't care. All they care about is how you're helping them solve the problem of moving that paper.
And keeping their job.
And keeping their job. I love that. Thank you, Denise. Before this administration, there had never been a reduction in force for contracting officers. Let that sink in for a minute. They joined the federal government for security, right, Denise?
That's it.
And here we are. Here we are. They joined, and now there's a big shakeup, which puts pressure on them. Pressure to keep their job. And pressure, they're under more pressure because those that are still there, that have their job, want to keep their job, and their workload is double, triple, quadrupled what it used to be. So what are they looking for? They're looking for the easy way to be able to buy, and they want qualified folks. We got to get our qualifications up there. I love what you said, Rafa. You threw out ISO certification. What's that got to do with federal? Nothing. It's completely professional, right?
Strictly professional, but it shows that it speaks to your capabilities, right, to deliver. Talks about repeatable results. And that's what the government is focusing on.
And so the cool thing about this is the government actually has programs. Denise, you know about this as well. They have programs that will help you grow with your R&D, with grants. They have programs, Rafael Marrero, that you can be you can create a mentor-protege program, right?
That's right.
Where they'll actually pay for you to get your ISO certifications. There's a lot that happens in this space. But I tell you what, if you are not injecting yourself into the money flow with the buyers and the project managers, you're on the outside looking in, and you're going to be churning bids. And I know Nikita. I love Nikita. She's one of my favorite people in the world. She bids on everything. You bid on everything. And there's a model for that. And guess who's going to be talking about that model today at 1 p.m.?
Dave Lowe.
Oh my gosh, I tell you what, it is unbelievable what's going to happen at 1 p.m. today. But I just want to say, hey guys, I really appreciate you guys checking us out, taking the time to be here today. Remember, check out and sign up for Sam Radar. By this time next month, you probably won't have the chance to sign up for Sam Radar and lock in your price. So do it. You get a free trial. You'll have access to the new system as soon as you're paid. Nobody who's free gets access to the new system because it's too valuable. So you're going to have to stick it out. So check it out where it is right now. You have your marching orders right now to be able to connect with people. Rob will help you through the process of looking at how you can get in front of these RFPs. And what you can do right now is watch all that contract activity. I certainly recommend Sam Radar. Everybody else, does everybody here 100% recommend that they check out Sam Radar?
Oh, listen, Dave, I won't move without it, and I'm not exaggerating here. Let me tell you, several of our construction clients have benefited tremendously from gaining the situational awareness. Before other people know that there's something coming up, it pops up on Sam Radar. And I got to tell you, it works. I've found IDIQs contracts that are about to be recompeted, everything way before it comes out on SAM. And by the way, without paying like the crazy, stupid prices that you'll have to pay for other tools that don't even provide half the functionality. And believe me, I was a guinea pig for the new version that they're rolling out. I was, so I can attest to this. I'm not going to mention anything because I'm sworn to secrecy here. So I got a roll of duct tape around my lips. But mark my words or read my lips without the duct tape. It is phenomenal. You need to sign up for this.
So watching that contract activity on both sides, opportunities as well as awards, very important. We'll talk about awards another day. We want to identify the buyers, use the research to connect with these people and be relevant, because if you're not relevant, you're what? Irrelevant.
Adios.
Right. And right now we're gonna be pressing hard and be persistent. And the bottom line there, look at that bottom line. Your competition wants you to quit. It's too hard. You can't last. It's gonna take you 2 to 3 years to get into space. Wah 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 wah. Don't become part of the attrition model.
Hello.
That's all I got to say. All right, today 1 p.m. Join me today at 1 p.m. If you're interested in that, I had somebody ask for this. Let me go back here. Yep.
I reprogrammed my television segment so that I can join you on the 1 p.m. session. So I'll be.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
All right.
Available.
All right. I'll bring you in. Everybody, the 1 p.m. session today at 1 p.m.
Yes.
Is right here. If anybody wants to sign up. It's $99. Break open the wallet and come. And then we have other sessions that are coming up. We have doing business with the Department of War. David Price is here today. He's with us. He did a briefing on foreign military sales. Holy smokes. Super crazy. If you're interested in doing work with the DOW, what's one of the most important things you're going to need? Todd Crane?
The MMC and
The MMC. One of my favorite sessions coming up May 28th, unsolicited proposals, a federal agency. By default, you're the only one that can possibly win. We appreciate you guys joining us today, and we're going to get you out a little bit early. I want to thank Brian Hebel for being here. Please check out his new book on Amazon, CPAR's Guide and Best Practices. If you're not familiar with CPARs, you should get familiar, because guess what? It is becoming more important. The doctor, the colonel, the Cuban maestro, dressed like he's ready to conduct the Philharmonic Orchestra today. What do we got? Hold on. I had no idea you had that today. No idea. Ding, ding, ding. I love it. Sally White, who had to leave for meeting with somebody in Utah, reach out to her. She'll help you connect. She'll help you do trade show support. Todd Crane, who helps with CMMC, cyber consulting, and all the rest of the stuff to make sure you are locked down and not up for grabs for anybody else to come open that doorknob and start getting in your business. Right, Todd? So Denise B. Lawrence, for-profit grants. If you have no idea what I just said, reach out to Denise B. Lawrence at denisebelawrence.com. What's the B stand for again, Denise? I asked you.
Baker, my maiden name.
Baker. Like
It's B for
like
bueno.
like baking the bread, like baking the money.
That's it.
I like it. And if you're interested in the Silver Shop Accelerator, it was the first time that Denise did it last month. Right, a month and a half ago, right? So you can check that out on GovBrief as well. Nikita Van Kirk, who, by the way, is going to be do a DIY GSA, right?
Yep, in June.
All right. Hold on, I got to pull that up because I didn't have this in my session here. So you go here and say see more. Go to page 2, and you got Nikita Van Kirk. DIY GSA, if you're interested in that, because this is the first time you're doing this, right, Denise? Right, Nikita? Right? So that's there if you want to check her out. I always love Nikita because we don't think the same.
No.
She loves to bid on everything, and I only like to bid on stuff that I get my dirty, grubby little fingerprints all over.
Yes.
And pay no attention to the April 4th on this, because whoever created this did not make this up right. But the second Tuesday of the month is when we do these sessions. We appreciate you guys joining us today. Thank you guys, panelists, for your feedback. I think it was great. And everybody.
Did you put up the last poll, Dave?
What's that? Oh, I got a last poll. I'm sorry. Absolutely. 1 minute. Don't leave.
Come on
Don't
now.
leave. Don't leave.
Come on now.
STG. Hold on, I forgot. Thank you very much. See, I forget about this. If you like professional help, if you need buyer engagement, you want Sam Radar, you can reach out. You can let us know you need that. Buyer marketing to buyers, CPARs, FAR, financing, federal marketing materials, face-to-face help with Sally, grants, RFP writing with Denise, CMMC compliance with Todd, or maybe everything. Maybe you just want somebody to help you get there and you need some help. Let us know. We will be glad to get the information to whoever it is. And we need a little bit of time for that to happen. Anybody got any last minute comments before we bounce out of here in about a minute and a half?
Yeah, Dave.
Go ahead.
Didn't see my name, so I'm going to go ahead and mention this. If you want a free 15-minute consultation on how to pivot by looking at your marketing materials, your online presence, you're more than welcome to give us a shout. We will honor that, as Dave knows. We will give you a free 15-minute consultation and review at no charge. Okay?
What was that? How much did it cost?
Free. It's your favorite four-letter word. Yeah.
Favorite four-letter word.
All right.
All right. So we'll be anything you guys need, just please reach out to the folks that are here. We had folks that wanted to get together with you, Nikita. So I appreciate you guys reaching out to them. Go ahead.
And if you buy Sam Radar, you also get access to the Monday roundtables, which are definitely worth the price.
Yep.
So you can come Monday 10 and 2 Eastern, and we talk about all what's going on in the federal government contracting space, and people bring their problems that we work through as a community.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And like I said, there's $750 million that happened in there between Sam Radar members and that group. $750 million in the last 3 years. And we have somebody here.
Dollars in contracts won. That's amongst each other.
Yeah. So and I know one of my favorite people is actually here is Jay Talbot. Got to see him last month when he was in town. It was a lot of fun. Always like to hang out with Jay. And Jay has been a Sam Radar member for I don't know years now, and he said, you know what, the Monday roundtables is why he stays as a Sam Radar member, and he kind of he stays there and he helps out and he brings wisdom, drops wisdom, but there's a whole bunch there that happens, and I appreciate Jay a lot and everything that being able to hang out with him.
Yay.
So appreciate you guys. All right, we're gonna shut this down. Anybody have any last minute things? Please reach out to whoever you need to talk to. We appreciate you guys. Thank you very much, everybody. Anything you need from me, let me know. I got to prep for this next thing. Ralph, I'll get you on the invite list for the 1 p.m.